Welcome back, vintage gamers. More all will be one in Phyrexia. New cards, new brews, exciting things happening in vintage. I have a sweet one. I've been working on this all week. I've been really happy with this Atraxa Grand Unifier deck. Atraxa is a new natural order target, new show and tell target, new reanimator target. It is a 4-color crazy big legend. 7/7 flying vigilance, life touch. Yeah, life touch, exactly. Life touch, and deathlink. And when it ETBs, you look at your top 10 cards and you get one card of every type. So this thing has been hitting like 6 or 7 types pretty frequently for me. This deck does contain a large variety of things you can hit. It's got Planeswalker, creature, instant sorcery, land, enchantment, artifact. So not bad. So what we are doing is we are casting Show and Tell, and we are putting in either Atraxa, Emrakul, or Omniscience. Omniscience being the most powerful. And then from Omniscience, like you can just chain Atraxas until you find an Emrakul and you kill your opponent with 21 flying or 22 flying damage. There's also a variety of other things happening here. We have a Deathrite Shaman to help accelerate the mana base and allow us to also play Natural Order. Sack a green creature, search for a green creature. Atraxa is very nicely a green, white, black, and blue creature, so it pitches to everything. So we have Force of Will, Force of Negation, Force of Vigor, for Endurance. So kind of an interesting like mid-ranging green creatures into a blue combo control shell with, you know, Flusterstorms and Flusterstorms and Negations and Wills, and then, you know, restricted blue cards, restricted black cards, and a mana base with some basics here for our Stone Coils, Ice Fang Quaddles. I'm pretty excited with this deck. I've had some pretty good showings in leagues. I think all of my leagues have been 3-2 or better, and I lost a recent 5-0 league in the last match, unfortunately. But I do think this deck has some legs, and the Atraxa card is actually quite powerful in my experience. So I'm excited. We'll see how it goes. Ready for round one. If you'd like to see your deck played on this channel, check out the Patreon link in the description below, where you can find all the information you need to submit a donation deck list. Let's battle. Okay, round one versus Zolzolzol. Zolzolzol has been doing a variety of different things recently, so we'll have to see what they're up to. This hand doesn't have a payoff for Show and Tell yet, but it does have fast mana and counter magic, so I'm going to keep this hand. Yeah. I think I am just going to get basic Forest here and play a Deathrite Shaman. This doesn't let me this makes it harder for me to mystical for like an ancestral in my upkeep. I really would rather not do that. Maybe it's better to just get a Tropical Island. Yeah, I mean, I could see maybe just play Tropical Island so I can go for Mystical Ancestral. Maybe that's just better. I think maybe I got a little greedy here. Fair enough, opponent, fair enough. All right, well, I'm going to eat this Strip Mine. I think my opponent is likely to be on 4-color Planeswalkers, and I'm going to cast a Mystical in my upkeep. I'm going to get that Ancestral Recall. And I'm going to cast the Ancestral Recall in their upkeep, so I don't play into a negation. Because I think resolving the Ancestral looks pretty important here, considering how low resource I currently am. That was certainly an Ancestral Recall. The good news is I can pitch one of these to negation, and no problem there. I don't know, man. Oh my god, Wasteland. All right, so now we have to draw Moxen to cast Show and Tell. The nice part about Atraxa is she pitches to all of the things, so I think we're still in a good spot. We've got 2 Deathrite Shamans. There's still a couple mana to be made. I don't know. It's not ideal, but it's not the worst, you know? All right. What? All right. I didn't see that coming. That was, yeah, I mean, I would have liked, a land in between all of the Atraxa, but it is what it is. All right, so it's probably Squee. We just got double wastelanded. The unfortunate news is they'll probably have a lot of counter magic here, but brainstorm. Well, pretty sure I'm going to cast this. Zolzol also loves to counter this kind of thing, though. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. I can't say that I've started this game very luckily. Luckily? The luck has not been super strong here. But I'm going to end of turn Vamp, and we're going to go get something. Could just be a fetch land, to be honest. They pitched Vigor Master. What do you think about fetch land here instead of something like Black Lotus? Black Lotus technically lets us DT for force, but that plays into Mindbreak Trap pretty hard. I guess we don't have... It is game 1. Why wouldn't they have Mindbreak Trap? My opponent's on Squee. If we resolve an Atraxa, we should win the game. There'll be 1 land left in my yard if I take a fetch land. Well, if I go Lotus, I think... Yeah, I can play this slower. This is true. The problem is I don't have a basic forest to search for. My opponent wastelanded or stripped my forest. Maybe it's fine if I get strip mined. I actually don't even mind that. I kind of like that play. They're not actually gaining an advantage off this Bazaar if we're eating the Masters. I don't think I want to get wastelanded, but I don't think the show and tell is going to resolve. So we kind of need to get some more permanent mana sources so we can cast show and tells back to back. I kind of agree. We don't have a clock problem right now. They don't have a hollow one. Are they going to Noxious Revival? Oh, I thought they might Noxious Revival to stop me here. If I had a basic forest, I feel like this play is really good, but... I don't mind this play. I think this play is totally fine. I just don't think the show and tell will resolve right now, so I think like forcing through a Lotus doesn't really make sense. Unfortunately, this negation's super bad because my opponent is playing Squee, but that is sometimes what happens when you have negation. All right, they pitched a Vengevine here. Do they have double hollow one? Have they been holding it? No, they're just going to play a hollow one. That's a little bold of them. I think I would hold it. Well, I guess I have to eat the Vengevine now. All right, well, now we have another fetch land. We have a lot of choices. I think I like eat the Vengevine, cast Demonic Tutor. I don't have to eat the Vengevine right away either. Are they gonna Noxious? They keep pausing on my activations. I feel like they might have Noxious or something. Is Force better than Flusterstorm here? Yeah, I guess the mana is kind of important. I think that works for me. What I want to make sure I don't do is play hard into a trap. This deck looks a little weird, but I kind of like it. I think that this deck has a lot of potential. No activation. Maybe they could activate in response here and put two vines in, or two root walls. Would be interesting. An Ice Fang. Yeah, let's see what we can do here. Let's give it a shot. I can't imagine they don't have at least one force. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Pitch one of these Atraxas. Yeah, force pitching force. Force pitching Atraxa. I didn't fetch basic, so I don't have a death touching Coatl, but all right, force pitching force. Well, we have another one, so it's not the end of the world. Oh yeah, that happens a lot. So get ready, suit up. All right, end of turn activation. Down to one card. How many Squees do they have sitting in their hand that they've been holding though? I think this list is good. Like it passes all the bars for me. It has enough forces. It does a powerful thing. It ends the game. I'm pretty on it. Yeah, well, okay, so my opponent had a Squee and a hollow one, and they left one card in hand. So they do get to get back Squee this turn because I don't have enough mana to eat again. We're gonna go to 10. 10 is not bad. Here's another activation up to 5, down to 2. My opponent will likely have another Force of Will after this, but it's possible we go for an Ice Fang Coatl. It depends. We might want to just go Ice Fang Coatl and eat the Squee. Yeah, so they pitched Master and Squee. We might want to just eat both Master and Squee here. That offsets a Hollow One attack and gives them no value. I think that's my plan. So now I could eat one and still show and tell. I think I like that more. I could wait, but I don't actually think we're losing if I go now. Could be wrong, but all right, it resolves. That should be game. All right, so I'm going to take Atraxa, Walk, Force, Omni. So Atraxa, Walk, Omni, Force, Island. So that's creature, instant, sorcery, land. Am I missing one here? No, sorcery. Yeah. Oh, they're off it. Sorcery, instant, creature, land. Okay, yeah, it's 5. And then we'll just time walk here and they can't win. So yeah, we can get Artifact and Planeswalker, but we don't have an Artifact or Planeswalker in these 10. All right. That's a really nice way to start this tournament. Or at least a nice game. It just felt like a really good game. That was like a prime example of why I'm playing Deathrite Shaman. So for a little while, I was talking in the Discord about playing Birds of Paradise instead of Deathrite Shaman because I was having trouble with Deathrite Shaman having enough food. But the games you win because of Deathrite Shaman eating creatures against Bizarre decks is just, it's just too good to pass up. So, yeah, so we're gonna bring in Leyline, Tabernacle, Needle, and Endurance. And then we've got easy takeouts in Negation. But after Negation, Misstep. But after Misstep, I think on the draw, Narset is not as good. I think the Coatls, I mean, I think I'll just take out the two slow tutors. I like taking out the dig through time. I want to take out... I might take out Natural Order, just because it has sacrificing as part of the cost. And do something like this. It's a little rough to take out Vamp, because Vamp for Tabernacle is important. So I kind of want to keep Vamp in my deck. So maybe I'll take one Coatl out. I don't mind Coatl because Coatl can technically block Hollow One pretty well. I'm gonna try this. I haven't mapped everything out with this deck yet, so... Oh, I forgot that I went live and I didn't do the posting. Always do the posting. Oh my god, failed it. Okay. I have my snow-covered forest, a force, and a vamp. That's probably good enough here. I've been trying to post the sideboard in the picture on Twitter less. Yeah. Yeah, I think just like jumping for a turn versus Hollow One and sometimes killing it is worthwhile. It's not actually that hard to turn on Death Touch because you can just fetch 3 basics to start the thing, King. So like I can play Snow Covered, Deathrite, and then fetch Basic Island. I'm not gonna be able to fetch Basic Island here because I'm gonna have to vamp for a Tabernacle. Will I have enough life to do that? So if I get hit for 8 here, oh, I'm actually just dead. I have to play. Oh, I'm just dead both ways. This is just too strong of a start. All right. Well, I'm gonna force this Hollow One. Wow. Yeah, I mean, my opponent just had the best possible draw, it looks like. Yeah, we have some outs, but it's going to be tough. So I have to play Deathrite to chump here. Oh, I guess I should have fetched. Why didn't I fucking play a fetch land? I'm so bad. We had this game. I actually had this game. I just need to block and fetch. Do I have enough life to do that? Oh, no, I don't have enough life to do that. Okay, never mind. No, we can't. We literally can't play it because we would go to 10 and then we would go to 8 and we would die, chat. So I actually literally cannot Vampire Tutor. So I just have to draw Tabernacle off the top and they have to not draw Wasteland. A little late on that one. All right. I'm still like pretty happy with that keep. I think my opponent just high rolled really hard. Maybe we are just supposed to keep Natural Order in. It shouldn't be necessary. I should just maybe mulligan harder. Like I have ley lines. I don't know. The hand looked good, right? Like it had a Deathrite Shaman and a Vamp for Tabernacle. Maybe that's like not good enough on the draw. That might just not be good enough on the draw. That's possible. All right. No, it's like you don't want to try to combo as soon as possible because opponent has so much counter magic. They have 8 forces and 4 mind break traps. So, but this one we have Leyline. I guess if they have vigor in their opening hand, then they can beat this Flusterstorm. But this hand's quite good. I'm just going to... I can end of turn fetch, I guess, so I don't get strip mine right away. This hand's quite good. Root Walla, Master, Powder. I mean, they could just, you know, play around everything with, you know, they could know my hand or something. But we have a nice setup here, so I'm not too worried. It's definitely one of the better starts I can have, for sure. Vengevine, Squee, Noxious. I think this deck is quite good. Maybe not like good, but like it's super playable is what I would start with, and then we'll see how good it is over the course of the next couple days. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope we draw like a fetch land. I can just make this thing death touching. That's not a bad draw either. Fetch land. Oh, okay. We're gonna have to probably take some hits from this. Probably should have tapped my underground. See, maybe it doesn't matter. Too slow? It could definitely be considered too slow, but you are playing 6 forces, so it's like not too big a deal. You have like the same counter magic suite as everybody else. I guess I could have played. Yeah, I'm just gonna name Bazaar here. I'm just gonna attack them because I'm not blocking this turn. I mean, we're not in a bad spot at all. I just think this is a little unfortunate. Like my opponent played this in a pretty correct way, if I would say. I don't know if they held the hollow one, but if they did hold the hollow one until they had a wasteland, it makes a lot of sense. That is disgusting. Okay. Oh, we're gonna hold the strip mine though. So they can actually strip mine me to remove Death Touch as well once we do this. All right, well, I'm gonna play this Tabernacle out. Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna lose this game. Maybe we can draw fetch land still, and it'll be okay. Looks quite bad though. My opponent seems to have drawn the correct cards to counteract what we've been doing. Not much we could really have done super differently here. Of course. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Opponent played well, I guess. Yeah, we have not drawn well. That is true as well. I mean, a fetch land kind of stabilizes. Now... Fuck me. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. Like, by the time we do anything here, they're going to have drawn forces, so. All right, I mean, not much we could have, like I said, I think we had a great start. Opponent played all the cards in the right order, and we had nothing. Why? Yep, they have force. Whatever. What you mean? I just didn't draw a fetch land for the entire game, King. What are you talking about? What a that's a disappointing way to lose this match. Hey, look, a fetch land. Like, if we draw a fetch land, then we just trade with their hollow one and we're winning again. Like, I don't know. It's sad. Okay, round 2. That's no good. That's slightly better. We're gonna need a little help, but... This hand is not bad. We have 4 Deathrights and 4 Coatls. So we have 8 cards to draw to that will allow us to natural order. I have considered adding more in things like a Green Sun Zenith package or a Dryad Arbor to fetch off of a fetch land. That's a great draw. But I decided I didn't want to add any bad cards to my deck. I really dislike having Green Sun Zenith in my deck. I really dislike having Dryad Arbor in my deck. So the nice part about this current list is I think it really minimizes the number of like cards that are not good. And the cards that are not good on their own are, at least they pitch to force, you know? That kind of thing. So if nothing else changes here, we can end step a Coatl, and then we can untap and natural order with Fluster backup. Obviously, still a lot of risk there, but Narset's an interesting draw. Brainstorm's an interesting draw. My opponent could easily have double counter here. I wonder if there's any merit to just doing something else. There's a lot of merit to doing something else. I mean, we could brainstorm first and find a land as well. I'm casting this brainstorm. Interesting. Hmm. I don't think my options are particularly good here. I don't have the mana. I have a really weird situation where I have Forest Emerald, so I don't have double blue or black. I wonder if my best play is actually like Demonic for fetch. Even that, I can't play follow-up Narset. I'm in like a really bad spot if this like doesn't work out very well. No, I think I might have to leave Atraxa in my hand. Well, I don't have double counter because Force of Negation doesn't work. So all I have is Fluster. Oh, they can have double counter. Yeah. So the problem with hard casting Atraxa is it is a blue card, so they can have Pyroblast. I have done a lot of hard casting Atraxa. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep the Atraxa just so that I have. I guess I could pitch a Narset to force. That's actually probably better. I think I'm kind of priced into going for it, unfortunately, because I just don't have any follow-up plays here that are very good. I mean, I could play Narset, but I'm not. Maybe that's better. I have enough mana to natural order later. Oh, and that lets me get rid of the 2 cards I don't want. All right, I actually talked myself into casting Narset, I think. A mental misstep force. I really want to get through my cards. I'm going to try Flusterstorming here. So what I should have done is I should have put Natural Order on the top and kept the Atraxa so that I could have had negation on their turn. So I did mess up my Brainstorm, unfortunately. And I can't get Atraxa off of this Narset either because it is a creature. I did get a Force of Will, though, which is pretty good. So, all right. So now I feel okay. My opponent didn't have a Flusterstorm backup there. Oh, they're on Jeskai. Interesting. Jeskai, no Mentor. Or sorry, no Luris. So they have Mentor. Needle. Yeah, I'm not forcing a Needle. Narset in play on 3 is still going to be pretty good against their deck anyways, so. And we already got rid of the bad cards. So all we really are looking for here... Interesting. I'm going to also let that one resolve. The reason I'm letting it resolve is because I want to try to resolve Natural Order. And all I need to do is hit a mana to do that. They hit my mana source. They just F6 though, so they didn't play the jet, which was a bit of a whoopsie on their part here. Now I'm gonna... God, I really don't want to trade with this Ragavan either, but I'm probably going to trade with the Ragavan. Oh. Well, I have to force that one, so... I guess it's more likely I'll end up hard casting this negation. I mean, they're going to dash a Ragavan here, right? Oh, they're not going to dash it. That's good for me. Gives me a chance, I think. All right. Feel like we've drawn some weird cards in this game. Sometimes this deck is really weird. It doesn't play preordains, so a lot of the times, like, I'll draw the raw as a tinker in this deck. Okay. I did not see that coming. All right, they have 1 card left in their hand. What is it? Why is a tinker in this deck? 1 card left. They didn't have Mystic Sanctuary. That's good for me. A braid. Oh no. Uh-oh. Now I think we're in trouble. This Ragavan should get a lot of value. The good news is we don't have that many good cards in our deck. Or that they can cat. Well, actually, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Uh-oh. Things are really bad now. I'm glad they didn't hit that. Well, maybe we can draw a show and tell. Yeah, we kind of needed those Moxen at the time. They didn't have any counter magic, so we would have been in a really good spot. Oh, they have show and tell. There's no way they cast that one. That was the card I wanted to draw, though. There's Saga in this deck, too. It's a Lavinia Saga Jeskai deck. Bold. Second show and tell. Ancestral. That's a good draw. Glad Ragavan didn't hit that. I guess I have a Narset in play, so it's probably fine. All right, I actually think we're winning now. Ragavan is an RNG machine. Sometimes it does absolutely nothing, and sometimes it wins the game. Yeah, but it didn't hit the Ancestral, so... No! They hit Omniscience! Are they doing it? I love it. I think we just let it resolve. I don't think it's a huge deal, right? I think it's fine. So I'm gonna take Coatl, Misstep, Show and Tell, Omni, Trop. Well, I guess I don't need Coatl because I'm gonna have Show and Tell Omniscience. So I'm gonna take another Atraxa then. Atraxa, Mental Misstep, Omniscient, Show and Tell, Trop. And... oh, maybe I... never mind. Misty. I wonder if yeah, this is better. This lets me vamp. So my opponent has an Omniscience and a Saga, but does that really matter? Maybe I was supposed to because of Needle. I probably could have vamped on that turn. Yeah, Ragavan's a problem, so if they draw like Red Elemental Blast, Pyroblast, you wouldn't want to have vamped, so... ooh, Manifold Key. That's exciting. Unblockable Ragavan, also exciting. Oh no, this is only from hand though. Okay, never mind. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. We have a 7/7 that dies to Pyroblast. This also is a unblockable Ragavan. The Deathrite Shaman, not a bad draw. All right, so we should win the game on this turn. We're gonna Show and Tell an Omniscience and then cycle through our deck until we find a Emrakul. So no problem here. I guess we can just vamp for Emrakul. I kind of want to just vamp for... is there like anything I can die to? I have Force, Misstep. I feel like I should just vamp for a Flusterstorm. That's true. Was it protected from Manifold Key block? No blocks? I just don't think you're supposed to vamp there. I also don't think vamp is like crucial at all, so I don't really care about vamping. Discarding a second land is like no good either. I'm so smart, chat. But I have just Mental Misstep on this and pay. I just don't think the vamp matters, or the second land also doesn't matter. So, all right, Omniscience, Natural Order, Atraxa, Dig, Time Walk. Yeah. Yep. So basically, I just chain through Atraxas there until I find my my Emrakul. Also, I take an extra turn with Time Walk, which also is going to be lethal if I play a Deathrite Shaman. So I love this deck. This deck produces absolutely the best chemicals in my brain. It just is like, do this, and the deck is still good, and I love it. All right, so my opponent is playing an interesting deck. It looks like it is Jeskai Tinker. I don't know what that exactly entails, so I would assume we want Collector Oofs and Negation and Vigor. But I don't know how we fit all of those magic cards into our deck. This kind of feels like like a mystical vampiric Coatl. I don't think that looks great. What if this is just like not a natural order matchup? What if I do that? Is that like a thing we could do? Well, we have yeah, I mean it'll still be like 16 or something. I don't know. I have no idea how we want to fit all the cards to play this matchup. I mean, it's not like this is like these are green, 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 green. Like it's not like we don't have a lot of green cards. I just don't understand. I just don't know. Maybe like I don't know. Fluster's still decent against them. Yeah, I guess we could be over sideboarding. I don't know. It just like feels super free to be playing Vigor against the nonsense Saga Tinker deck. But maybe we don't need as many Vigors. Maybe we only need some Vigors. That could be true. Yeah, I wouldn't want to overboard Flusters. Like I don't want more than 2 Flusters in this matchup, but I do think I want 2 Flusters. It's a little odd because my opponent is playing Lavinia, and we just cannot deal with a Lavinia in any way besides playing lands. So I'm gonna cut natural order. I agree, and I'm gonna keep some of these other cards, but I just don't think you need a natural order here. This is my plan. Yeah, I mean that's a can I'm slamming, so see how it goes. Saga Gaming. You got it, homie. Oof, Sapphire. Saga is a lot better when you have a Sapphire to go with it. Okay. I think I'm going to upkeep a Brainstorm so that I don't get Hull Breachered. Does it matter if I upkeep? Could I just end step it right now? Yeah, maybe I'm just supposed to end step it right now. It's not a very good Brainstorm, but in fact, that's really bad. Man, that is super rough. I was hoping to find like Flusters and Forces, but I didn't find any. I didn't find any lands either. Yeah, I don't have a feeling that this show and tell is going to resolve, unfortunately. I don't think I have a choice, though. It also stops them from making a construct, so... It just resolves. Alright, the cool part about this is I can cast Atraxa, and then I still have 2 instant speed other spells. Alright, well, I have an Omniscience. They have a portal to Phyrexia? Okay. I mean, we still resolving on Atraxa here. Why are we spinning now? We could have spun in response to the show and tell. My opponent is making some choices. We could have spun into a Fluster or a Pyro, which is what they did. I don't understand. Oh my god, I was not supposed to cast this before the dig through time. Ugh. I'm so bad sometimes, man. I guess I have a second Atraxa now, so maybe I just... They have a Fluster! What is happening? No, opponent! They wanted to put the Phyrexia portal in play, so they just let it resolve. Oh, okay, sure. You could have just flustered this and would instantly win the game. It's fine. Everything's fine, chat. This Coatl is actually going to end up being quite good for me because I have another Atraxa on top. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy now because I think we're going to win. Oh, wait. Yeah, because we're going to win the game, but... Oh, wait, they can bring back the Atraxa if they counter it, though. So they just get a force and then they counter it. I think we'll be fine. Oh, no, opponent! You're making a huge mistake. Well, if they don't have a blue card in hand, I guess this is the only thing they can do. But they got a Mind Break trap off of the Atraxa, which is going to exile it instead of... All right, well, that all worked out for me. Those are not very good draws. 3 Omnisciences. Ponder Island, I guess. That was the worst 10 I've ever seen. Omni, Ponder, Island. Whatever. I don't know, maybe the Island is worse. All right, Ponder, how good are you? Time Walk, Probe, oof. Oh, I hit the Time Walk? Yeah, whatever, sure. I guess that works. Fine. It's fine. Everything's fine, chat. They got a Death Bright Shaman. I don't know, man. Whatever. I have a Time Walk. I don't know. This is certainly the 0-1 bracket full of me and other powerful magicians doing certainly strong things. Ragavan, you got it. You are not able to undo the Ponder click. Unless something happened that I'm not aware of where you can undo the Ponder click. I was not aware that you can ever undo the Ponder click. Cool. I guess we win. If they just fluster my show and tell, I lose on the spot. I lose the game on the spot. Flustered my show and tell. My lord. They went too deep, chat. They went too deep. Okay, here we go. We're on to round 3 now. We do have 64 players in this event, so only 6 rounds of Magic. We are 1-1, so we need to win the next 4 straight. We got powerful Zoomer Juju Bean across the table. I have a show and tell hand that is lacking mana, but has a lot of the good Magic cards. So we have an Ancestral. If that gets countered, if we hit a land drop, we can Demonic for Lotus. Lotus Show and Tell Omniscience, Omniscience Atraxa. But that's what I'm trying to say is I don't think League is stale. I think that the way people are playing League at the pro level is stale, and I don't think it has to be that way. I don't think you need to like force bans or anything. I think players should understand like putting pocket picks together is actually an effective strategy. People think that's not an effective strategy. That's super effective strategy. I'm gonna hit this Underground Sea and hope it works out here. I think. This lets me draw into any land that is... Come on. Is this real life? How bad are my ancestrals? They're also playing Squee. They have a turn 1 Vengevine, 9 free power. Like, am I just vamping for Lotus and hoping they have nothing? And that, like, just throw the whole game onto this Vampiric here? Kind of think so. That Ancestral was so bad. All I wanted to see from that Ancestral was, like, forced land. Well, we drew Vamp Mystical Brainstorm. Like, not good. Not good. I don't even, like, have a high hope of all my stuff resolving here. My opponent didn't cast anything. Like, they could have Negation, they could have Vigor, they could have Mindbreak Trap. There's, like, 8 million ways I lose this game. But I also don't think I have a lot more time, right? So... is there anything better than just getting a... I'm just gonna cast the card and see if we win the game or not. I don't think that this game gets better by me waiting or anything like that. So... I guess you could theoretically brainstorm here. Does that sound better? I don't think that helps me. I'm just gonna cast a show and tell and see what happens. Oh, they have negations. Yeah. Okay. The Ancestral just did not work out. I don't know if I was supposed to do something different, but... Like... We had a lot of options, then we suddenly had no options. I kind of think we've been running pretty cold today. So I guess facing Squee twice is not an ideal situation for this deck. Okay. So what am I looking to draw into here? I have to draw a show and tell and enough fast mana to win, which is pretty close to impossible. So something like Time Walk, Fetchland, Moxen into a show and tell, maybe? I don't know. It's all doomed. Even if I were to, like, what did they just put? They just put Vamp on top of my library. With a Noxious Revival. So I could... Man, why didn't they just Vamp me Black Lotus? I have to just draw it and then hope my Brainstorm is 3 perfects. It's gonna have to be, I think it's gonna have to be Time Walk, Land, Moxen, Fetch Land in particular. So if I play a Deathrider Shaman and block, I still die. Okay, yeah, I mean, that Ancestral was just super bad. Okay. So we already developed this sideboard strategy from last time. We had Tabernacles and Ley Lines and Endurances. And we had taken out Natural Order, Negation, Mystical, Misstep. Yeah, I mean, that's my life. Though kind of all my decks are bad against Squee, so... What else did we take out in this matchup? It was Dig Through Time. I think we took out Narset because we were on the draw, but... Maybe I had trimmed Coatls. Is that what I had done? Actually, think I'll just trim a Coatl and a Narset. Ice Fang is fine because Ice Fang is a removal spell for Hollow One, which is important when you get Leylined, which is what happened in round 1. But we were not able to get our Ice Fang to Death Touch, which was unfortunate. It also just like buys you time. I think this is what I'm gonna do. The Narset isn't that bad here, but we don't have so many ways to play it early. And like our best way to play it early is like turn 2 off of Deathray Shaman, which means we can't block for it. So don't really like that. Yeah. This is not the best showing. Oh, if I lose this match really quickly, chat, remind me to go run to the other building and buy Girl Scout cookies because I wanted to do that, but they put their selling time directly in the middle of my stream. So rude. I mean, these hands are great, right? I don't know. I'm never mulliganing this. I mean, I'm not a very good defense grid deck because I'm not playing enough mana. The best way to beat Squee is for them to mulligan. Ley lines do help as well, of course, but Squee has a pretty reasonably high failure rate on its own. We get a Tropical Island and play this Deathrite Shaman to start. I think accelerating our mana is important. It also allows us to play a slower game where we eat a Squee from their yard and cast Ancestral on their upkeep. So my opponent mulled a 4 in this game, so I'm hoping they don't have as much interaction. They're not even going to activate their Bazaar, which makes sense. Or at least makes enough sense. What I'm going to do is play this slow. They also powdered as well. I'm going to play this a little bit slower and look for an Ancestral window that I like. Even end step here is not a bad one. Yeah, I'm okay with this Ancestral window as well. Obviously, this plays into negation, but I think that's okay because we have backup show and tell. I'm okay with like getting my Ancestral negated because I don't think the Ancestral is pivotal to our plan here. It also makes their Bazaar activation a lot worse because they're down to 2 cards, up to 4 cards, and back down to 1 card. So I actually kind of like it a lot. They did pitch a Master, and they pitched a Squee and a Vengevine. I'm just going to take the Squee out of their yard and leave them with Bazaar, Vengevine, 2 cards in hand. Not a great place for them to be. And then I'm hoping next turn we'll just resolve this show and tell on an Atraxa, and that should be good enough. So yeah, like I said, the way to beat Squee is for my opponent to mulligan. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's like a very oh, nice Atraxa. I still think that show and telling and nice Caracas. I still think show and telling and Atraxa is good here. Even though they have a Caracas, I don't think that matters. I will instead start with a Ponder and see if I can find an Omniscience, though. I should probably not have played a land. I should have pondered and used my fetch land, but I was talking and forgot. I could show and tell a Leyline of the Void into play. I'm just going to shuffle this, and then yeah, I'm gonna put an Atraxa into play. If they bounce it, it's fine. We still draw like 5 cards, so. So my opponent is playing Snapback as well. This is a legendary creature, obviously, so they can bounce it with their Caracas. But we are going to go get a bunch of cards. So yeah, so we hit Show and Tell Omniscience. So we're going to take Atraxa, Omniscience, Show and Tell, Jet, Tabernacle, Force. Atraxa, Force of Will, Jet, Omni, Show, Tab. No, because we're going to Show and Tell Omniscience. Yeah, and now we have Show and Tell Omniscience with Force Backup and an Atraxa. It's going to be game. So next turn, like I said, this Karakas doesn't actually matter because Atraxa is super Grizzlebrand. And we get to just Show and Tell the Omniscience, and then we're going to be great. Everything is going to be awesome. Okay, that's a W. Is this deck better than PO? I think it's a little too early to tell. I do think this deck is playable and strong. I don't know if it's going to end up being a deck that people will actually play a lot. That's kind of hard to say, but I like this deck. I think this is one of the brews I've been most excited about in a while. So nothing is better than PO, just like nothing is better than Doomsday. Yeah, we can run this back. It just doesn't matter. It's just reminder text for things that are very likely to happen. So Tribal doesn't happen very much. So Tribal did not go in this reminder text. I assume Battle will be happening a lot in the future where Atraxa will be legal and standard. So that's why Battle was included. So they do that all the time. You can check some old cards if you'd like to see. There's like definitely ones that don't have certain types on them when talking about all types. I don't know. I'm pretty excited. I think this deck is just super strong. I think it does a really cool thing. I don't know if the coolness factor is diluting my 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 strength evaluation, but it certainly feels pretty good. I was super excited to get to 5-0 with the deck. I was really sad we ended up losing. I had a close 3-game set with Thim, who was on Aggro Shops. Or maybe it was only 2 games. Might have only been 2 games. I can't remember. But I like got my basic strip mined and then my mocks revoked and I lost. Like I ancestraled and then drew 1 land and then got basic strip mined, mocks revoked, and never cast another spell the whole game. No, like I try not to hype up brews and decks where I don't feel like they're actually, capable of influencing the metagame. But I do think this has like I think the power of the combo itself is high enough. I think the force of will, force of vigor, anti like protection / counter magic suite, which allows you to play against the other combo decks of the format, is robust enough. I think the biggest problem with the deck is likely to be it is a little bit slow because it doesn't play full Moxen. You can play Atraxa with Oath. I really hate Oath. I think Oath is like not a card I want to be casting. All right, so this is basically the exact same hand that we lost to Squee in round 1 with, right? It's actually better than that hand because we have access to a couple other things. But this is basically the exact same hand where I have a Deathrite Shaman and I have Vamp for Tabernacle. This time, though, I have an Endurance for Vengevines. And I have Show and Tell. So, I mean, I think this hand's just a keep. Like, this hand does a variety of good things in the matchup. I have an anti-Vengevine plan. I have a turn 2 Show and Tell. I have the ability to Vamp for Tabernacle. I like this. Endurance like pitches to Atraxa. Atraxa and Deathrite both pitch to Endurance. My opponent end up with a 5-card hand. Let's see what they have for us. Squee. Ooh, that's going to be very interesting if we want to endurance that or not. Let's see if we draw an additional green card first. Another show and tell. That's a really tough choice. If we pitch Deathrite Shaman... So if we pitch Atraxa to endurance, then we can play Deathrite Shaman, but we won't be able to vamp and show and tell on the same turn. Yeah, the Force of Despair is a little too narrow. We've tried it. If I pitch Deathrite Shaman, I could just vamp for Lotus, but that's like a little all-in. I could just let them get 2 Bazaars back and play, or 2 Squeeze back and play a Deathrite Shaman. I think I'm willing to endurance. I'm willing to endurance. I just trying to figure out which line I want to go with. I think it's better for me to just pitch Atraxa. I do think that 2 Squee is like good enough for this trade to be worth it. If this gets wasted, I think it's fine. So obviously I have 2. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, mental misstep is a problem. I guess we would have gotten even more ranched if we had gone the other way, right? Now if it gets wasted, we're in super deep shit. Yeah. I didn't consider my Deathrite Shaman not resolving, so maybe this was bad. They have double Master plus Hollow One here? Uh-oh. I drew a 3rd show and tell. Oh boy. I think we lose this game, unfortunately. I think this one is a doomed. Yeah, so 4 Squee hand. Wow, their powder got rid of 3 hollow ones, and they found the 4th hollow one. I really wasn't interested in upkeeping Ancestral, but now I do feel like I maybe messed up. They have Bazaar probably force back up. Yeah, I think this game is over, unfortunately. I mean, I could get a Tabernacle here. I just don't think a Tabernacle wins the game, like, I don't think a Tabernacle is good, right? Like, it kills Hollow One, but I was thinking about getting Brainstorm. I guess that's worse than just getting Ancestral. Is there any reason to get, like, is it possible that Brainstorm is better than Ancestral in any way here? I don't really need to put Show and Tells back, per se, so... Yeah, I mean, I think this Ancestral is just going to get countered and we're going to lose on the spot, but... I'm pretty sad. Is it my own fault? I don't know. I took a line. Was it bad? We'll have to go back and look, I guess. Maybe I should have just gone Vamp for Ancestral last turn. You might be right. Maybe I should have just gone Vamp Ancestral last turn. Okay. Well, that's not bad. I think I'm gonna endurance the Squeeze again. Maybe we could have played in Death right before Endurancing on turn 1. But that doesn't really help us, though. Like, I was still going to Endurance after. I don't think that sequencing matters. Oh, wow. All right, I'm gonna cast this. I think they have a force, and they just chose not to force my stuff. So they should have 4 Squees on the bottom of their library, right? So we're only taking 2 damage a turn if we don't get wastelanded, because we can eat 3 creatures from our yard. And if we draw a payoff spell, we can show and tell. I think we might just show and tell no matter what this turn, depending on what they do, so that maybe I can bait a force. We'll have to see what happens. If it looks like they have a force, then I think we should just cast a show and tell. How much clock am I at? 8, 4. I think we only get 1 meaningful Deathrite activation, right? If we were to go to 8 and then go to their turn, go to 10, go to their turn, go to 6, go to... No, we could eat Deathrite every turn. They probably have a really interesting, bizarre activation here, to be honest. Like, if they have a hand that, like, has Vigor, maybe? Yeah, so this is Vigor, Negation, Snapback. Wow. Wow. That is super interesting. I wonder what they ended up keeping. Also, Wasteland looks pretty good still. Yeah, there's Wasteland. But they might hold it to beat Tabernacle. But beating this Tropical is quite good. That's tough. It's all really tough. Yeah. Well, we're in a huge problem. We have a huge problem. Because we still have show and tells in our hand and nothing to use with them. And our Deathray Shaman is not gaining us any life yet. So I think our best draw is land. Specifically a tropical or something that gets a green land. And then a payoff. And the payoff has to be Atraxa, probably. Guess it could be Emrakul. Brainstorm could be good. All right, we found the Atraxa. They're going to get 1 more activation. I think it's likely they kept a force of some kind. We technically have 2 draw steps, but then we'll lose our mana source. So and if they have a Caracas, it's quite bad. Do you think they would bring in Surgical? It'd be interesting. This was a close game. I think we got like uber punished for the choices we made. But I still like the idea of endurancing away their double Squee draws. I mean, they could just they could Noxious Revival a bad card for us here. Do we have any bad cards? We have Vamp, I guess. Vamp is a little risky for them too, though. I mean, I'm not going to use my Snapcaster or my Deathrite on my turn anyways to do a counter thing, so I think it's fine. Like, they could just hit Endurance if they wanted to, and I can't stop it. So, all right, looking for mana. All right, well, I have to continue playing because I can still draw Black Lotus, but I feel like we've just not drawn the right cards. It's kind of sad. Our Ancestrals have been quite bad today. All right, this Ancestral wasn't that bad, but just drawing triple show and tell is not ideal. Yeah, well, I still think Squee is an atrocious, like probably the worst matchup we could have. So, and I think we have the tools to beat it, but it just doesn't come together a couple times here. Oh, they have Noxious Revival on Endurance, so now I'm dead. Okay. I think my opponent probably, if they probably should have activated Bazaar in my upkeep so that they could have Noxious Revival to my upkeep there. No. I just feel like we just didn't draw the right cards. Like, I mean, I want to go back and look, but... All right, here we go. Round 4. Unfortunately, this challenge has not gone as intended. I do think that this deck probably has... You know, its weakest matchup is probably Bazaar of Baghdad, and we've had 2 Squee opponents so far, and now we have Matt to the Sea, who is a Dredge and Squee player. So, well, did you play Kappa in Vintage or Legacy? Not me. I think it's a lot better in Legacy because they have artifacts that don't tap for mana normally. In Vintage, all your artifacts tap for mana. Yeah, Raphael, I don't think this is a meme deck. I do think this deck is quite good. So, I think if I was on the play, I would keep this hand. But being on the draw versus a likely Bazaar opponent, I just don't think this is going to get the job done. I'm going to mulligan. This is the same hand, except I have a higher likelihood of winning the game if my show and tell resolves. I guess a resolved Atraxa is probably winning the game against Dredge, and well, maybe not against Dredge on the draw. I think again I'm going to look for something stronger than this. All right, this is definitely my strongest hand yet. I think what I'm going to do is put the 2 of these on the bottom so that I can just look to try to show and tell. How long have I played MTG? So I learned Magic in Mirrodin block. So that is, I don't even want to know. Mirrodin block. How long ago is that? Is that like 20 something years? Yeah, 20 years ago. And then I started playing more, like going to a game store and stuff in Scars of Mirrodin, which was, so like I learned at like Boy Scout camp in 20 years ago, and then I started playing more interested in the game in 2013 or 2010, so 13 years ago. Yeah, people don't know that I'm not super young anymore. All right, so my opponent is on Dredge. I am just going to get a Deathrite Shaman in play. I don't think this Deathrite Shaman is enough to stop my opponent, unfortunately, but it might be something like next turn we eat an Icarid and we ponder looking for a show and tell target or something like that. I think we're going to get absolutely murdered in this game if I had to guess. I think if we won the die roll, we would actually be in an okay spot. But because we lost the die roll and we're playing against Dredge in game 1, things are just super hard. My opponent is going to bring back an Icarid and an Amalgam here. Yeah, I mean, of course, when if something is my worst matchup, it means we're going to play against it 5 times in the challenge, right? It's okay. It's okay. Such is life. Okay, so that wasn't the worst Dredge. All right, I mean, that wasn't the best Dredges from their side of the table. Unfortunately, they do have double Icarid, so it's not like we can eat the Icarid out of their yard profitably here. But we didn't like die immediately, which is kind of nice. So if we were to top deck, probably Atraxa or Emrakul are our best draws. Emrakul might not be enough. Atraxa is probably what we're looking for here. If we don't draw Atraxa, then I think we'll ponder off of the Trop and then look for the most efficient death rate activation. I guess they have no dredgers right now. How did that happen? Well, we really wanted to draw a blue card for turn or Atraxa so that we had extra force. Like, I do think we're gonna need to be able to pay for force of play a force of will. So it's a little unfortunate that we didn't draw a blue card for turn. We have too much mana this time. So we found the Emrakul. So I could take Show and Tell and Emrakul on the next turn. The question is that too late? Or I could take Show and Tell this turn and Natural Order on the next turn. That sounds better. That does sound better. Okay. Oh, but I can't do that because if I want to eat with a Deathrite Shaman... Yeah, I don't think Emrakul wins either. If I want to eat with a Deathrite Shaman, I have to lose my Show and Tell. I mean, it's probably worth it. Well, I don't have to eat with a Deathrite Shaman because all they have right now is Icarid and no Dredgers. I think this is still the play, though. Well, yeah, I guess that's true because I have blue card force this way. True. All right, let's see how this goes. I think this is our best line, so... I don't know what I want to eat, though. I don't think I want to eat Icarids. I think I want to eat a Dredger. Are they going to, like, put 3 Dredgers into their yard, or are they going to bring back these Icarids first? They only can bring back 1 Icarid. I could eat the Grief, but then they just bring back Icarid off of Icarid. I think I just let them do one of these Icarids. It's fine. Then they activate. I like that play from them. I think they had double Stinkweed, right? Yeah, they have 3 Dredgers. I mean, maybe I'm just supposed to eat the other Icarid here. I think that's fine. Yeah, all right. So I go to 17 and I go to 11, and then we natural order for a 7/7 lifelinking Death Touch. It depends on how these... That Dredge went really badly, right? Because this didn't see this. True or false? Yeah, so those amalgams didn't see the Icarid. So you're saying there's a chance. All right. Natural order off my Deathrite Shaman. No force. Put Atraxa in play. Reveal 10 cards. Okay, so Omniscience, Narset, Misty. Omni, Narset, Misty. Ancestral is yeah, Ancestral is better than Vamp. Ancestral. And then I do have Show and Tell Omniscience now. So is a Coatl better than a Deathrite Shaman? Yeah, probably. Because we're going to try to go off next turn. Oh, I have to pick some cards away here, huh? I don't need this, so... Alright, so if I can dodge quadruple crippling chill, I think we're gonna be okay here. They have 2 chills in their yard already, so I don't think we can get quadruple tripling chilled. So I don't think we're dying here because we have a 7/7 lifelinker. So I think we should win this game. Oh, we might not win the game because... No, if we hit Emrakul, we should win the game. I think we're winning this game. Atraxa is really, really sweet. It's kind of like it's like a Sphinx of the Steel Wind that draws 6 cards. I don't know. I don't really care about Oath of Druids, so I haven't really tested it. Nice. So then we would just untap and we would show and tell Omniscience and then try to find more Atraxas or Emrakul and then take an extra turn and win. We just beat Dredge in game 1 in a game that looked really rough being on the draw, so I'm pretty happy. I think this deck is good. I think it's good. I mean, it's unfortunate our losses to Squee, but I'm really impressed every time. So we're just bringing the same things we did against Squee with Leyline, Needle, Tabernacle, Endurance. And then I actually think Natural Order is a lot better against Dredge than it is against Squee. So how do I want to board? I think Coatl is much worse than it is. I think it's much worse. So I want to go Mystical, Coatl, Misstep, Negation, Narset. That looks really good. That's clean. That's super clean. I like that a lot. We could even keep something else instead of Dig. Obviously, our pitch count for Endurance is kind of low, but I think that's okay. Endurance is more of a last case measure. Even then, it's still 14. Yeah, it's not great, but I think it's still fine. I mean, I guess we could just take a Dig out and play an Ice Fang to up the green creature count for order. I mean, technically Endurance is also something we can natural order off of. So we only lost 1 green creature technically. So I think this is fine. I guess we could technically cut Probe for another one. I don't really want to do that though. Let's do this. It's a little sketch. Like, there's a reason I don't want to play a 4 natural order deck. There's a lot of reasons I don't want to play a 4 natural order deck. Removal is a big one, but I like what the 2 natural order does in this deck. It's possible natural order should be Eureka. That's something I have to consider as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep this hand. It has some issues against Dredge on the draw, but I mean, every time we've played against Squee or against Bazaar, our hand has always been this like Deathrite Shaman Ancestral hand. We've drawn a ton of Ancestrals. We've drawn way too many Ancestrals to be 1 and 2. Like, it's weird because I said a couple times, like, I think we drew badly, but we've also just like drawn a ton of Ancestrals. So maybe a little here, a little there. Opponent mulliganed a lot here. Opponent mulliganed down to 4 cards plus powder. They have 1 Dredge 3 and 2 cards in hand. I like the spot we're in this game. Oh my god, that's a great draw. I think we're in a fantastic spot. I think we'll win this game too. Poor Matt. We've like paired against Matt a couple times in a row now, and they've not had the better side of the matchup. But they were killing us really badly before, so. We've drawn a lot of similar hands, but we also play a lot of 4-ofs, so. Down to 1 card. So they can have Mental Misstep technically, but I guess they could have Grief, and I'm just playing into Grief. Or Wasteland. I guess I could just get Island. That only backfires if I draw exactly Underground. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. That's insane. I mean, the game is over. They agree without even seeing my hand of Force, Omniscient, Show and Tell, Atraxa, Endurance. Okay. My opponent basically mulliganed to death there. Which is obviously one of the reasons why Bazaar is not like completely broken. But yeah. Okay, winning game 1 was the most important thing. That gives us the opportunity for bad mulligan situations to happen. Okay, GG's, Matt. Okay, here we are now in round 5 out of 6. This is a fast tournament. It's only 350, so we've only been playing for 2 hours and 50 minutes, and we've gotten 4 rounds done. Sometimes Vintage is a nice place. This hand's great, and the big reason this hand is great is because Atraxa is a blue card. I can't stress this enough. Having your payoff show and tell target thing here be blue, so it pitches to force. It's really, really good. I'm excited. Should be a good hand. This is definitely a nice natural order hand as well. That's another, we were just talking about with chat, a bunch of other options, like instead of natural order, things like Eureka, things like Oath of Druids. Another nice part about natural order is you don't actually have to have the Atraxa in hand like you would if you had show and tell or Eureka. So that's another like nice upside. It kind of gives you an additional dimension of attack for your combo. Oh my god, how is this possible, chat? I was joking. I was joking when I said we had to play against 3 more bizarre players. Well, our hand is good, I guess, so. How could this happen to me? Alright, another Dredger. Alright, we'll see how bad their Dredgers are again. This is not a terrible spot. This is not a terrible spot because we have turn 1 Deathrite Shaman, turn 2 Demonic Lotus, natural order for Atraxa, right? So it's not bad. I think I just will play around the idea that my opponent may have a Wasteland in their deck and just get a basic, because I can still do other things fine. Yeah, Force my Deathrite Shaman. Yeah, I can't let that happen. That's gotta have to stay. I wasn't talking shit. I think, but no. All right, okay. Maybe we'll draw Mox next turn. All right. So my opponent's hand was Bazaar of Baghdad, double Force of Will, Dredger. So I'm a lot powerful than Matt's hand. Matt, you should take some lessons from this player. I don't need to rip the mana because I have Demonic for Lotus. So if I draw any of my Mox in here, I can Demonic for Lotus and Lotus not. Oh, I can't natural order anymore. You're right. So now I just need to draw Show and Tell or Lotus. True. And here's when Eureka would be better. I did not draw. So do I die? They have no Icarids, so I don't die. So I guess I will Demonic for Lotus. I just would rather not have a Dryad Arbor in my deck. So I chose not to play Dryad Arbor Green Sun Zenith. You can build a deck with Dryad Arbor Green Sun Zenith. I just really didn't want to. So I can Demonic here for either Lotus and try to draw Show and Tell, or Demonic for Show and Tell and try to draw land. The thing with Demonicing for Lotus that chat is missing is I get to draw Deathrite Shaman as well, which is 1, 2, 3. It looks like Show and Tell is still better, but chat's missing the part where taking Lotus lets you also have outs for natural order. I think it's still just taking Show and Tell, though. Yeah, if I drew Ice Fang and then drew a land off Ice Fang as well. So that's another, I'm just trying to explain that there are some realistic reasons to getting Lotus here. So. All right. I'm not sure, unfortunately, that Show and Telling on Atraxa at this point in the game is going to be good enough, as my opponent has not hit any Creeping Chills yet. So we'll see what happens. They still haven't hit any creeping chills. All right, there's a creeping chill and 2 Icarids. I go to 14, and then I take 7 and go to 7. Yeah, it's probably not going to be good enough. Because my opponent will have 3 chills left in their deck. And they'll 22 cards. No, this is not going to be good enough, I think. I mean, I could always hit Black Lotus Time Walk, though. So there are options. All right, so we're looking for mana source. We hit Ice Fang. I guess Ice Fang can still hit Lotus. This can still hit Lotus. All right, there's my land. Perfect. Okay, so that time our opponent had good dredges and we got unlucky in comparison to the last time where we had the opponent hit bad dredges and we got lucky. So okay, so we're gonna get Leyline Tavern. I mean, I'm sorry that we didn't get to show you a variety of matchups in today's stream, but unfortunately, that is sometimes how Magic works, especially tournament-based Magic. We have this down to a science. We know that we're taking out our Ice Fangs, and we were taking out our Mystical and our Misstep and our Negation and our Narset. And we considered cutting Dig Through Time for... Yeah, so if we had tutored Lotus, we would have done the Ice Fang into land plan. I think it's still better to tutor for show and tell because there were how many lands left in our deck? Like 12 hits in comparison to like 3 Deathrights, 4 Ice Fangs, 4 show and tell. I guess it's probably kind of close. I didn't do the exact math. It might have been pretty close actually, but like the Ice Fang into a land is like, that doesn't count as a full hit, so. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah. Do I want Mystical over Dig Through Time? Not really. Maybe. Dig Through Time is like really hard to cast in this matchup. Let's try that. Oh. Interesting. I guess this is a keep. Kind of a weird one. It does provide some redundancy. If this hand didn't have a Leyline, I probably wouldn't keep it. But because it has a Leyline, I think it's actually not bad. But we have a Leyline though, right? So I don't think it matters as much. Well, I have double Omniscience, so it's not super big deal if I get... I mean, I guess if I get Mindbreak Trapped and Vigored, it's pretty bad for me. All right, I got negated. All right, well. I don't know where this game's going. I guess if they have hollow ones, things are bad. All right, show me your secrets. Another force. Okay. Land is a great draw as it moves us towards an endurance. My opponent's probably time to activate Bazaar soon, I would think. I don't think it makes sense for us to show and tell without a force. We have Fluster in our deck. What do you think about end of turn Endurance? Is that too crazy? Oh, now they're activating. I guess it's pretty bad if my opponent plays a hollow one. They pitched an Icarid. So they found a hollow one. Maybe I still need to play it just so I have... Things don't look good here. Oh, I cut all the Ice Fangs. Why am I fetching basics? Justin. Ice Fang would have been really nice here, though, I must say. I don't think I want to put these back in my deck, so... I guess with a Deathrite Shaman, this does block, though, so it makes sense. I should definitely have fetched an Underground Sea. Okay. Uh-huh. I guess I'm paying for an Endurance. Good draw. Good draw. No, I'm not saying it's a bad draw. That is not what we're saying here. Oh, no, we're paying for it. Emerald, huh? I don't know. I feel like I should make them... I guess if I draw a Flusterstorm... I guess not. I mean, at some point here, they're going to draw a Vigor green card, right? I haven't really drawn any forces of any kind. I probably should tap my freaking forest instead of my island. Ah, that's a perfect draw. Maybe not a perfect draw. It's fine. It's good. It's a good card. I'm happy. Justin's happy. I don't want to play this Emerald because I don't want it to get Vigored. Oh, no force on the Deathrite Shaman. All right, now they're at 8 cards. They've not activated this Bazaar very much, and I'm not sure if that's right or wrong. I don't know how aggressive they're supposed to be. I mean, the good things is if they do Vigor, I have a Deathrite Shaman still. So they pitched a second Bazaar, and they have a third Bazaar. We still know that we still know 3 cards in their hand. They are going to overwhelm this Deathrite Shaman, though, if they have a Vigor. All right, definitely have to play this Emerald out. Oh, here's the Vigor. Vigor pitching Shell. The last cards are Amalgam, Icarid, Force Unknown. Okay. Okay. Land is not a bad draw by any means. The problem is, even if we draw protection for our show and tell, we still don't have anything to any payoff for our omniscience. We do know that they don't have any dredger. They might only have 1 dredger tops in their hand right now. At some point, they'll lose this force, right? I'm really gonna get punished for fetching basic when I could have gotten Underground Sea. Because I can't activate my Deathrite Shaman right now on damaging. Not that I'm probably going to activate my Deathrite Shaman on damaging. So I'm gonna pop this out. Unfortunately, I can't eat this Dredger because my opponent has an active Bazaar. So I have, because they would just be able to respond. But I can eat this Narcomoeba on the stack, so I'm gonna do that. I don't need to do that because I have a Tabernacle in play, so maybe I'm not supposed to do that. Well, whatever, I can F6 now, so worth it. Don't they still need a Wasteland? I should probably have just eaten an Icarid. What am I doing? I should just eat both Icarids. What am I doing? Why did I do that? I guess like if they have a Wasteland in their hand, but we know their hand is probably force blue card. All right. Well, do we just get our show and tell countered? No, because they're dredging, right? Wait, what did they dredge? Can we figure out if they have a blue card in hand? No. Well, there's an amalgam in their hand, right? Or was this the Icarid and the amalgam that I just clicked off of? I'm just gonna pass with an endurance up. I don't remember. They still need a wasteland, right? I'm just gonna eat an Icarid. Whatever. I don't care anymore. All right, this is fine. If I just eat, I shouldn't have ate the Narcomoeba last turn, but I guess I was kind of worried about a wasteland. But how are they getting a wasteland to beat Tabernacle? Oh, they just can't. Okay. Cool. That was a game of Magic the Gathering for sure. For sure, a game of Magic the Gathering just happened. I still don't think I want Coatl. I think we can manage. So the Tabernacle Endurance Deathrite combination, they can't fight through without having the Wasteland for the Tabernacle. Maybe they didn't even keep a Tabernacle. They might not even kept a Wasteland in their deck. I mean, no one really has this list unless you went to my channel. So I guess that's not true. If you were on my Patreon, you'd have this list. If you were in my subs chat in Discord, you have this list. If you're on Twitter, you might have this list. I guess this list is kind of public. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. If Icarid's not beating an Endurance plus a Deathrite Shaman, so that's why I was kind of mad at myself for eating the Narcomoeba. Sure, I just ate a Deathrite, ate an Icarid, untap, ate an Icarid. It would have been bad if they had a Wasteland in their hand, but it was like pretty impossible for them to have a Wasteland in their hand. Oh baby, is this the keep Leyline Needle, get beat by Hollow One hand, or get beat by Vigor, or get beat by anything? Like I'm not supposed to mulligan this, right? I'm not mulliganing it. I can't mulligan Needle Leyline against Dredge. I just can't do it to myself. Oh, yep. It do be like that. I think I can wait on this Needle. It's such a fast clock though. Maybe I have to keep Coatls in the deck. Coatl does go really well with the Leyline plan. Maybe I'm just supposed to keep Coatl in the deck. I don't know. It's tough, man. really hard to mulligan this hand, but maybe it's correct to mulligan. I don't know. It might just be correct to change my build. It's so hard to mulligan that hand if it's correct. I have some time. I have a couple draw steps. What if they have a second hollow one and they're worried about Tabernacle? You can't be. You just have to jam and hope you don't have Tabernacle, right? 2-turn clock. He just got to jam. Got a lot of problems here on my side of the table. They're never going to use the graveyard, but hollow one is so good that it might not matter. I didn't, but oh, that is unfortunate. Can't fluster that bad boy. They might hit the Atraxa. Hit the fluster. Does that mean they have vigor? Gosh, I drew a fluster. Okay, sure. Why not? Oh, Bazaar of Baghdad. All right. I think this is going to be a top deck show and tell or lose kind of game. We have some time. Not bad. That buys time. I'm on show and tell off the top. I deserve it. So close. I'm allowed. I'll just wait. It's fine. I guess I'm allowed to take a hit so I can have natural order draws. I don't know if that's better or not. Yeah, I guess it's fine. I guess I just missed 3 damage for no reason. Come on! What is this nonsense? Rip the Atraxa. I keep getting griefed out of my mind here. Brutal. Okay. What about Deathray Shaman? Deathray Shaman also does it. What about Misty Rainforest, chat? That one doesn't do anything. I should have held it in my hand in case I drew Brainstorm. All right, I think now we need to draw Ancestral. I'm so unlucky today. I've drawn so badly. I don't know. I can still draw Ancestral. I should have held this for Brainstorm, though. That was pretty bad playing that, seeing as I can't crack double fetch anyways. I would actually have Atraxa mana if they hadn't had a grief. I feel like we've been so unlucky today. 2 griefs. Too good. Oh, it was doomed, chat. It was doomed. Super sad day. All right, we were just talking with chat in between rounds here. Thinking maybe against Dredge we had a slightly incorrect boarding plan. We don't feel like we need these omnisciences as much. We should be able to just win with an Atraxa and play off of Show and Tell or Natural Order. So maybe we can just trim on Omniscience and some of the less powerful blue restricted spells in the matchup like Mystical and Dig, Misstep, and Probe. That way we can keep these Coatls in the deck and use them as roadblocks or removal spells for hollow ones, especially when we have a Leyline in play. I was worried that maybe you didn't want this because without a Leyline, it's pretty much awful against Dredge. But in the end, it still does pitch to Endurance and Force. So I think this makes sense. So maybe a slightly adjusted sideboard plan for the next time we play against Dredge, which, you know, at the rate we're going here, it'll be next round. So see you for round 6. Okay, 6th and final round of our Atraxa Natural Order Show and Tell deck. We have some other ideas if we determine that this is not the route we want to go, but for now, let's see what we can do in this final round of this tournament. If my opponent is on mono white, this hand is a little sus. I think I'm going to mulligan this hand on the draw. On the play, I might have kept it. Okay. I mean, this hand also has some issues, but I really wish I had a Force of Will. Why don't I get a Force of Will in all my opening hands, right? That's what I want to know. That seems fair and balanced and just reasonable, you know? Yeah, I mean, so be it. Like, I'm not gonna mulligan this hand either, right? Like, it is what it is. I'm not going to 5 with my ancestral hand. Yup, it's mono white. All right, is it Dahlia? It's a Dahlia. That's also pretty unbeatable for my deck right now. Normally, Dahlia, not a huge issue with my Deathray Shamans, but my hand does not contain one of them Deathray Shamans. I think we're dead, honestly. I think we're dead. It was a good run. I actually think this deck is not too bad against mono white. The Coatls have been pretty good. The Deathray Shamans have helped, and you have like an Oops I Win ability. But you know, mono white has some draws that are very good against you. 3-5. Okay, I mean, one more draw. I'll give it one more draw step here. If we draw a land, I'm gonna try playing through it. Even then, the clock is really rough for me in this current situation, and they have a Caracas, so it's gonna be tough. I don't really mind the Doomsday matchup. We are on 6 forces and 2 flusters. It's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I really didn't feel like when I built the deck I had matchups that were terrible. Everything seemed like it was winnable. We had an Oops I Win condition. We had forces. So like there was play to be had. I'm off it. Let's just go to game 2. Okay, so I like the Collector Roofs instead of the Fluster Storms. And then I like Endurance, or I said I like Negation instead of Mental Misstep. Obviously they bring in like some swords sometimes, but I don't think that's a big deal. I can play a Needle for Wasteland. I don't really know if I care about that. I'm gonna fetch a bunch of basics. I'll just play an Endurance. That thing does the blocking. Let's do that. Yeah, well, I think it's powerful enough, so you'll see more of it. It's not exactly enough. Let's try again. This one is... Man, I don't think this one's good enough either. No, I'm gonna mulligan this hand as well. This is much better. Ah, I can't fetch a basic forest, Justin. I wanted to play turn 1 Collector Roof. Oh well. I wanted to fetch a basic forest here. Collector Roof is just to make it so they can't play fast cards. It's a good draw. It's a very good draw. All right, we'll see what comes down here. Whether it's Thalia or it's like Anointed Peacekeeper or something. No Thalia either. All right, so Collector Roof is probably doing some behind-the-scenes work here that we can't see. Our opponent didn't really have a turn 1 or turn 2 play. I wish we had Tinker in our deck, I guess, but instead we'll have to settle for Vamp Ancestral, I assume. Unless there's something better. What about Natural Order? We're 1 mana short of Natural Order, right? Because of the oof. Okay, just Ancestral then. It should be fine to use the green source. Okay. I mean, this is decent progress. I guess they could have had Containment Priest there. I guess they do have Containment Priest. All right, well, that is certainly an issue for Natural Order. So be it. If I had tapped my black source here, I could have put the Kawado into play and double blocked. The reason I didn't tap my black source because I felt that if no matter what I would draw, I would be able to play it. And this would let me at least eat with Deathrite Shaman, but that turned out to not be exactly the case, so maybe I was wrong and I should have just gone for Underground. I should just use my Underground Sea to cast my Ancestral. Seems like a small mistake. So this is not that bad for me because they're going to get the initiative and then I am going to steal it from them. At least for a little back and forth here. All right, no attack from the the Containment Priest. Let's go get a green mana. I can't actually deal with the Containment Priests, right? Because I don't have removal spells. So this Natural Order is just dead in my hand until the Containment Priest goes away. I don't play like an Oko or anything. So... it is what it is. I can still put an Omniscience into play and cast Atraxa that way. I can go get a basic Forest here, which is kind of nice. Endurance is a big draw because it's a good blocker. This is kind of why I boarded in the Endurance for this kind of situation. Looks like they are not going to activate their Saga or float a mana with their Saga, which is a small plain mistake. Ooh, that is a fair point from McWin Sauce. We have the ability to maybe goad the Containment Priest into attacking us. I very seldom goad anything, but that seems like a total thing that could happen here. My opponent still has cast no Solitudes, though, so something we also have to keep in mind. I think I'll put back... Ugh. I could put back Ancestral Vamp into my deck. That does require... I could eat the Vamp, put Ancestral back in my deck, and I lose a land. That's probably fine, actually. Put the Ancestral back in my deck. I don't have to either. I could just... Okay, they have swords. Okay, so I'm just going to double block this thing then. If they have Solitude, so be it. Oh, it's not a May? Oh, well, I fucked up. Thought it was... Oh, you just choose none? Whoops. All right, well, this probably kills the Collector Oof, but keeps our thing. And now what we can do is we can forge onto the Deathrite Shaman, which will give us another big blocker. I guess they could play a second White Plume Adventure. That's unfortunate. Okay, so they get a White Plume Adventure, and yeah, but I need to steal the initiative, so I'm not pretty far away from using Death Touch right now, especially because that's going to be bigger. But I am kind of racing, so can I cast it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. Thanks for killing my Collector Roof, I guess. Wait, I have my black land in play. Oh, I should have ate the Saga. Green, blue, black. This thing, Atraxa. Trigger. It's first hard cast Atraxa of the day. All right, so I am going to take Time Walk, Ancestral, Tropical, Omniscience, Narset, Coatl, Ancestral, Ice, Narset, Omni, Walk, Trop. Attack and steal the initiative. Who cares about Containment Priest? Not I. I think I'm just gonna forge onto... I forge onto my Ice Fang. Well, I'm gonna kill them if they don't steal back the initiative anyways. Yeah, I could have taken Force to beat Solitude or Swords. That's fine. I don't think it's gonna matter very much. Just gonna put it on this Deathrite Shaman. Yeah, I mean, maybe Force was better. I kind of just forgot I needed to have it. So I think I was thinking about the Thalia from last game. But I mean, my hand is also going to win the game through a Thalia or through a Swords or anything, so I wasn't really putting a lot of thought in. But you are right. We should probably not take Ancestral and we should just take Force. That's totally true. Containment Priest? Containment Priest stops me from show and telling an Atraxa or Emrakul into play. And it also stops me from natural ordering an Atraxa into play. We were able to hard cast Atraxa. You can also cast Atraxa off of Omniscience. So like we have ways around Containment Priest, but Containment Priest is definitely good against us. It stopped us from naturally order them on like turn 3, which they would never been able to come back from. So, all right. Well, we don't get to be on the play this time and slam a collector roof. So, oh boy. I'm probably keeping this. Yeah, Containment Priest stops any creature that wasn't cast. So show and telling a creature into play would not be good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna keep this hand. Mother. Ah. I have to force this. So unfortunate. It is only fair, but I can't allow them to have a Caverned Archon here or Caverned Human or whatever Caverned Human. All right, it's fine. I have more Atraxas. That's a great draw. I like that draw. Let's do that. I'm gonna just play all of this stuff out. There's no reason not to, and if they like Thalia me, I want it in play. So if I draw an Atraxa off the top, I can play it next turn. My hand beat turn 1 Archon? I don't think so. I don't think my hand beats turn 1 Archon there. You can only play 1 spell a turn. You also are forgetting that Archon stops your fetch lands from being lands. And then there's a lot of problems there. I don't think I had 2 base. Oh, I did have 2 basics. Solitude. It's unfortunate. I still am not ever letting Lotus resolve. It can be other things besides Archon. I think Archon is the scariest typically, but you just can't let that. You can't ever let that resolve. Lotus. Oh, opponent got me so good. Okay. They knew? They knew? It's okay. Now all of our green creatures are, ooh, they played around Endurance. You love to see it. Oh, it's easy. What, you think I'm going to get Containment Priest, though? I feel like I'm going to get Containment Priest if I do this. I mean, I have 4 green fetches. I just don't want to play bad cards in my deck, and I think Dryad Arbor is a bad card. Oh, I'm just gonna hard cast this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm not gonna dry it. I'm not gonna natural order here. I just don't want to get Containment Priest when I have an Atraxa ready to go. Though if my opponent plays a, oh my god, did I just let them get a needle? All right, well, hopefully they don't have a second Wasteland. I have to crack this. I can't let them, like, in case they brought in a needle, I can't not fetch there. And if they have a second Wasteland. This game sucks. All right, well, now we can't cast Atraxa, but I can't get Containment Priest, so it's fine. So I just take this and I natural order, so it's okay. That's kind of brutal, but it is. It is. I just missed a damage because I decided to do it after. Atraxa. Misty, Coatl, Narset, and it might be show and tell. That's my instinct here. Misty, Narset, Waddle, Show and Tell. I think it's better than Time Walk. Just in case we get Solitude or Swords. Though my opponent does still have a Wasteland. They drew Caracas. Wow. Okay. I think we're going to lose this game. I can't fetch basic Island and Ice Fang block here. It's so frustrating. If I had tapped... No, I needed to tap double green, right? No, I didn't. I tapped... If I had tapped Island instead of Forest, I would be able to fetch for a basic Island and cast Ice Fang. Omniscience doesn't exactly do it. Yeah, it might do it. Actually, I can't cast Ice Fang here. No, I can't fetch here because my opponent has a Wasteland in play, chat, and there's a Thalia. I need to draw Omniscience. That's a tropical island. I have to wait for... Well, I can't wait, right? They have lethal on the table. Maybe I have to bring... I usually beat Caracas, but here they have a clock plus Caracas, which is the first time that's come up. I already lost Black Lotus, so if I were to show and tell Atraxa, I could hit Time Walk, but I can't cast Time Walk. I think I need to Coatl into another creature or a Time Walk. But Time Walk is currently on the bottom of my deck, so I will have to fetch. I think I need to hit another Coatl or a Deathrite Shaman. I think I lost this game because I tapped my basics incorrectly. That's crazy. I'm saying we can't Time Walk if we show and tell an Atraxa, because 4 mana for show and tell and 3 mana for Time Walk is too many. I need to hit a creature here. I need to hit a small creature. Yeah, I mean, I played badly. What can I say? This one's on me. Super big mistake. I feel like they did have exactly what they needed, but it's still on me. Yeah, it's game 3. We're dead. It's just a bad tap. Okay. That's not the deck. That's a deck we might try next. We got kind of crushed today, actually. We were making a comeback, but the deck's kind of hard to play, and I thought that Bazaar might be a rough matchup, and we played against it 4 times, which doesn't help. We did end up going, what, 1-3 versus Bazaar? And we beat a weird Jeskai deck. I'm like really disappointed, but it is what it is. So there's a couple other ways we're going to try to build this. We might try Oath of Druids instead. That might fix some issues. I'm a little worried about the mana in the Oath of Druids deck. I really, really dislike Forbidden Orchard, but it's kind of a necessary evil for this kind of card. I also really like hate passing the turn and dealing with Cage and Containment Priest, but that might just be the better way to go about this. So we're gonna maybe try this one next. I still have a very high opinion of this deck. Like I said, in leagues, I tested this deck, and I never went worse than 3-2. I think I had 3-4-1s and a 3-2 with this deck. So, well, I think the Bazaar plan is correct. I think we have the right Bazaar plan. We have 8 cards on our board. We fixed our Bazaar board plan against Dredge a little bit, but like you're gonna have bad matchups, and I'm pretty sure Squee is like always going to be a bad matchup for the combo deck. You know. It's just what it is. But I mean, I think there was some sideboarding optimizations in terms of what we boarded, and I think there was obviously some play optimizations, maybe some mulliganing optimizations as well. So more one Phyrexia Vintage is coming to you Monday, Wednesday, Friday on my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to not miss any of the latest and greatest Atraxa action. I'll see you then.